Hi everyone, this is Oscar with R3 Auto Detailing based out of Houston, Texas. And in this video, we're going to focus on an engine cleaning we just did on an Audi S6 a while ago. It's been 3 to 4 years since this engine bay has had a thorough cleaning, and the owner is rather meticulous about his vehicle, so he did want to bring it back to life. So we were more than happy to perform the service to get it to the standard of what the owner wanted it. So we're going to first start off with the hood. We started with the hood just because we want to work we don't want to work over ourselves, so we're going to start cleaning from the top and working our way down. We use a variety of brushes of all-purpose cleaners, towels, forced air, and water to get the job done. So we always want to work from the top going down to make sure we're not working over ourselves. And in this specific service, the customer also wanted a wash and wax. So we started off with the engine. That way, all the overspray and the runoff water will get on the outside paint, on the fenders, on the windshield. And once we're done with the engine, we can move on forward to the actual paint and clean up the paint. And that way we're not working over ourselves, because had we started with the exterior paint, we did the wash and wax, and then started on the engine cleaning, we'd have to go back over ourselves and start the washing process again to make up for all that mess we made with the engine cleaning. So that's why we start with the engine, we work our way down, we're not working over ourselves, and we're really being efficient with our services. So the rest of the video is just sped up of me thoroughly detailing and cleaning the engine bay. Again, I use a variety of towels, brushes, all-purpose cleaners to get the job done. This car specifically wasn't that bad in context of the other vehicles we've serviced before. So this is your typical, it's stored most of the time, but just through weather, through driving from city to city, state to state, the vehicle just gets a light to heavy layer of dust and dirt. Nothing too big of a problem where there's like a huge oil leak or grease everywhere, because the car is well maintained, so there wasn't like a big mechanical problem that just caused a huge leak anywhere. So this is a pretty typical engine cleaning. But again, it just depends on the weather conditions and how they drive the vehicle and how the vehicle is maintained, because there are instances where it could be it could be 1 year since the car has been since the engine's been thoroughly cleaned, but it could be 10 times worse because there was an oil leak, there was something exploded in there, it doesn't get maintained, it goes off-roading, it goes mudding, it goes through terrible weather. It's a variety of factors go into how well of a condition the engine will stay. So this, although it looked bad in the beginning, it's actually not that bad, and it's actually pretty well for it being 3-4 years since its last thorough cleaning. So here I actually don't use much water when I'm performing the engine detailing, just because I for one always want to minimize the amount of water that I use, and two, since we are working on the engine, we don't need to completely flood the engine with water, as that's not really necessary. We just need enough water to carry off, to rinse off any of the gunk, grime, and solution that we're using on the engine. So it's not like we're gonna pressure wash it and completely douse it with water, because that's just unnecessary and it's not needed for the engine cleaning. So we're only using enough water to rinse everything off. The sensitive items, in this case there wasn't many because everything is pretty much covered in plastic, but you do want to ensure that there's no exposed electrical cables. You want to ask the owner if there are any mechanical electrical issues that's been serviced or we should be aware of, because introducing water into any electrical component is just asking for trouble. So if this was like an older vehicle, you'd want to cover the alternator, the battery, and any other sensitive items or areas like the air intake, just to make sure you're not putting any water where you don't want water to be, to minimize the amount, the potential damage or harm that you could be doing to the engine bay. So like I said, this entire detail is just using a few brushes, 3 to 4 brushes I believe, using one cleaner, and just being very meticulous about how I'm cleaning, as this is more just about paying attention to the details, taking your time, and making sure you're getting all those fine wedges, nuts, bolts, and intricate areas that you'll typically see in an engine bay. Now with a model this new, which is it's a 2014 I believe, so not too new, but definitely modern style vehicle, is a lot of it's just going to be plastic covers, because everything is usually hidden now. Nothing that is not as exposed, so the cleaning itself is rather straightforward because it's mostly plastic housing everywhere, which makes it a lot easier for the detailer and to maintain your vehicle. And now I'm going to be using the Metro Sidekick, and this is great because it blows all the standing water out of the engine bay. That way you don't get any drippage. You can make sure that the engine bay is actually completely dry, and you can actually inspect what's still dirty and what's not. Because you can use a towel to try to get everything off, but having forced air to really kick all that water out of these, the small areas you just simply can't reach with a brush or a towel, definitely comes in handy. And this is the after product, and this is before I get to apply the actual dressing. And this is how it looks after I applied Meguiar's hybrid dressing. Much more vibrant, much darker, much better all around. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next one.